All praises be to the Most High for this news. All praises be to the Most High. Thank you. Anyways, Darcy Adanna Esemonu, whatever this broad's name is, one of the broads that accused Trevor Bauer of SA, is facing 16 years in prison for felony fraud. Right here, we're going to read from the description. It says, one of the women who accused former Major League Baseball pitcher Trevor Bauer of SA, Darcy Adanna Esemonu, has been charged with felony fraud. A Maricopa County grand jury indicted Esemonu on Monday and charged her with fraudulent schemes in artifices, a Class 2 felony, as well as theft by extortion, a Class 4 felony. The first crime is described as knowingly obtaining a benefit from the victims by means of fraudulent pretenses, representations, promises, or material omissions. The second offense is described as knowingly obtaining or seeking to obtain property or services from the victim by means of threat to, in the future, expose a secret. The maximum prison sentence for these two crimes is 16 and a quarter years. These crimes, so that would be like 16 years and 3 months. Okay. The crimes were allegedly perpetrated against Trevor Bauer and another man named Marco Bresciani. Trevor Bauer responded to the indictment of Darcy with a video on his social media channels on Monday. In it, Bauer explained that he did have a sexual encounter with the broad and claimed that she kept pursuing him to have more, and even at one point requested he give her a sample of his sperm so she could have his child in the future. He also claims that she made at least 4 7-figure demands over the last few years, more than a year after the one time we slept together, and only after Lindsay Hill made up her false allegations, Adanna retained a lawyer. She then demanded $3.6 million and claimed I forced her to have a baby deletion, leaving her emotionally devastated and irretrievably damaged by it. But here's the thing, she never had a baby deletion because she was never even pregnant, and that's corroborated by her own medical records. When I refused to pay her the $3.6 million she was asking for, she made up a bogus SA claimed and filed a civil suit against me. In that version of her story, she claimed, for the first time, by the way, that there was non-consensual sex. All praises be to the Most High for this news. But let's watch the news. Let's watch this from a different source.
Now at 1 o'clock, from accuser to defendant.
A woman who claimed that former Major League pitcher Trevor Bauer sexually assaulted her is now facing
fair use, by the way, fair use.
Criminal charges. KTLA5 Samantha Cortese joining us here in the studio with the story.
Glenn and Lou, the Cy Young Award winner, appears to be exiled from Major League Baseball following multiple sexual assault allegations. But in a video online, Trevor Bauer is asking what more can he do to prove he's innocent now that one of his accusers is facing serious jail time for extortion and fraud. A woman who accused former Dodgers pitcher Trevor Bauer of sexual assault has been charged with fraud in Arizona. A grand jury indictment unsealed Monday accuses Darcy Adanna Esemonu of fraud and theft by extortion against Bauer and another man. Esemonu sued Bauer, saying he raped her and got her pregnant in 2020. Bauer says she demanded money to terminate the pregnancy, but later said she had a miscarriage. Bauer posted a 5-minute video on YouTube responding to the indictment and addressing allegations at large for the first time in months.
Here's the thing. She never had an abortion because she was never even pregnant, and that's corroborated by her own medical records. When I refused to pay her the $3.6 million she was asking for, she made up a bogus sexual assault claim and filed a civil suit against me.
In the countersuit, Bauer's lawyers claim she took the money for the abortion and went to Philadelphia to get LASIK eye surgery. Esemonu is not the same woman who accused Bauer of assault in 2021, leading to his 194-game suspension and apparent exile from the MLB just months after signing one of the largest contracts in baseball history with the Dodgers. That accuser, Lindsay Hill, and Bauer settled last year without any payments between the two. Bauer was never arrested or charged.
At this point, I'm not sure what else I can possibly do to prove my innocence in all this. I did not do what I was accused of. And every institution that our society is entrusted to rule on issues like these, like courts, judges, law enforcement officers, prosecutors, they all agree with me. They've rejected every single claim made against me, even going as far as charging one of my accusers with a felony. At what point do I get to go back to work and continue earning a living?
We tried reaching out to Esemonu and her legal team, but were unsuccessful. Her next court date is next week, and she could face more than 16 years if convicted on both charges.
Now at 1 o'clock, from accuser to defendant.
A woman who claimed that former Major League
So I've been looking at the comments, and these are facts. So I did see some of the comments where they're like, what about all the white women that have been caught so many times doing this on black men? And yes, those are facts. But like I said, women like Darcy or Lindsay Hill, they tried the wrong ones. This is why they usually target black men when it comes to these crimes. Or if there are white men that are victims of these, it's like dudes that are in high school, right? When it's like the weirdo white dudes in high school that nobody will give a second guess. They don't when it comes to rich Caucasian men, they tend not to target them with those kind of bogus claims because they will countersue your ass, right? When it comes to Caucasian men with paper, they don't. Women like Darcy or even Lindsay Hill. Oh, Lindsay Hill's a Caucasian woman, right? They tend to only target black men because they're just getting into that kind of money. So they're like, so they tend to target black men with that because they don't. There's a less risk of them countersuing with that. But when it comes to particularly Caucasian men with men, means they will countersue your ass for derailing their career. They don't play that. So that is another thing. Black men need to start countersuing more. Just in general, black men need to start. They just need to countersue more. They need to be. They really need to be. They need to play more hardball with these broads when it comes to stuff like this, instead of just being thankful that they get found innocent. Because I think black men look at the courts and they're just like, I don't want nothing to do with the courts. They don't even want to be in a court setting, even if it's like for something minor. If you notice, like even black people in real life, they hate it when they even get into an accident because it's like they don't even want to go through that process, you know. Let me see. But yeah, shout out to these broads right here. They tried the right one. And I will say in Trevor Bauer's case, the only way I could see him coming back to the MLB, because clearly the MLB, like I think what happens, the reason why the MLB doesn't want to bring him back in, because they're probably afraid of Trevor Bauer suing the MLB for lost wages. You know what I mean? Like, because he has a case to sue the MLB for lost wages. Same way the Kyrie Irving has a case against the NBA, the Brooklyn Nets, the city of New York for lost wages because Kyrie didn't want to take the poke. You know what I'm saying? So they actually owe Kyrie money. So the only way I think Trevor Bauer can come back in the MLB is if he makes like some kind of agreement to like not countersue the MLB for lost wages. That's the only way he'll be able to get back. Because I think that's the only way Kyrie was able to come back and do what he could for the Nets and coming back playing basketball. I think he signed like an under the table agreement or a verbal agreement with the commissioner or the powers that be to not countersue, because the NBA actually owes Kyrie Irving money. The city of New York actually owes Kyrie Irving money, and he actually has a case to countersue. So I think because Trevor Bauer has shown that he's willing to countersue and all this stuff, they're just gonna. The MLB is not, and the Dodgers and the MLB, they're not going to admit that they jumped the gun. They're not going to admit that. They're just going to hopefully they're just going to hope that he just goes away. You know, and unfortunately, this is what happens over an accusation. Over accusation. This is what can happen to a man over an accusation. And you'll have broads come out and be like, why are men don't want to talk to us? And you're just like, bruh. they'll be in the club. Why? They don't, bruh. I'm like, don't y'all see what your fellow mentally ill sisters have, the kind of environment that you've created, to where even when you talk about pay for play, even pay for play is risky. That's not even a guarantee no more. So these are the consequences. You know, women don't understand the consequences of women being scam artists like this.